Righto, so yeah, another thing I wanted to show you is we got back from the fan event. Me and Kaito and Dad all drove down with a few of other friends, and we had a brilliant time camping down at the Victorian camp event. 85 people there, and it was a brilliant time. Such a special event, the fan event. Anyway, long trip down, 12 hours, long trip back, and me and Kaito on the way back were on the radio, UHF talking and chatting, and sort of got around the subject of my 76 here and what we should do about it. And you know, I'm flat out at work and I don't have a lot of time, you know, looking at what I should do to my truck. A lot of things I'm doing. So Kaito's sort of right into it, all the new stuff with products and trucks, and he's doing up his own truck. So he sort of had the idea that we should spend a bit of money and upgrade my truck. So I thought it was a brilliant idea, and something that really needs doing, because my truck's, you know, 9 years old now. Really needs a bit of an upgrade. So yeah, that's what we were thinking about, wasn't it?
Yeah, so pretty much we bought this, what is it, 9 years ago now, and it wasn't really set up at the start. It was pretty much bone stock, just had tyres on it, no lift. And then we went for a 2-inch lift to start with. I think it was Ironman, and just we had the standard Toyota bar and a roof rack. That was pretty much the setup, maybe some drawers in the back, and that was the setup for a couple of years. And then I sort of convinced you to go with a bit more of a technical setup. So we went the scrub bars, rock steps. We went a 2-inch lift in Old Man Emu. We had 33s on it, new rims, and intensity light spotlights on the front, light bar, and just tricked it out a little bit more. And so that was probably, what, 4 or 5 years ago we did that.
No, that was when after I had the car, 2009 model, and you're only about 8 or 9 years old. And then we had it for 1 or 2 years, and then Kaito's, he got 9 or 10 years old, and he started to get interested in forward driving, because when he was say 6 or 7, he'd go somewhere, he'd be in the back seat and he'd be sleeping, you know, he wouldn't be too interested. So once he got sort of 8 or 9, started getting really interested in forward driving, and that's when he started saying to me, Dad, you need 33-inch tyres, you need some better rims, you need some a lift kit. He started talking about Old Man Emu lift kit, and I didn't even know what he was talking about back then. So pretty much that's what I did. Kaito told me to get an Old Man Emu lift kit, 2-inch, 33-inch tyres, which I wouldn't have got otherwise, and he wanted me to get the scrub rails. I already had the drawers and the awning, but that's when it sort of started, wasn't it? And then,
yeah, we got the ARB twin locked as well.
The lockers as well, he wanted me to get those, and the compressors. So Kaito sort of at a young age, 9 or 10, was sort of encouraged me to get that basic sort of forward drive package, I suppose, because before that, you know, we'd been forward driving a bit, but I wasn't fully set up. We were flat out working, you know, in the business, weekends going to shows, and we certainly weren't forward driving like we've done after that. So Kaito got really into it, and that's what we did. So that's worked really well for the last 8 or 9 years. And if you look back through the videos, you can see Kaito doing a review on this truck back when he was, I think, 11 years old. So a couple of good videos, we might link those. You can see back Kaito talking about those. 2 videos showing and talking about the truck. Remember that? So
yeah, and it served us well. Like yeah, at this stage, it's a good truck. You know, it does all the trucks. It does Bryce Beach, which is one of the hardest trucks around here, and it's a great tourer. But the suspension's starting to sag a little bit, and there's a lot of new technology just coming out in the industry. So like back when we did this truck, chips were all the rage for engines, and now they're sort of turning over to ECU upgrades and that sort of thing, you know. So a lot of things have changed. A lot of with the bar work as well. They're going for a lot thicker tubing, better design, and that sort of thing. So I think it's time we sort of update it a little bit. And so what we're thinking is new bar work on the outside, so new bull bar, new scrub rails, and side steps. We're going to do a custom Drifta setup in the back, so a new draw system. With we've got one gull wing on the side here.
What about we just walk around and we'll show people? I'll grab the camera,
right. Yeah,
and we'll do a walk around. So we sort of thought first 10 grand, but maybe 10 to 15,000 bucks. We're going to throw at the truck. Kaito's going to manage it, so he'll work out. I'll show him now what I sort of want done, or what I'm not quite happy with, or what sort of bugs me, or what I'd like to get fixed up. So we'll have a look at that now, and then Kaito's going to go away and he's going to organise what needs doing, how much it's going to cost. And then we'll get the work done, and then we'll come and show you when it's finished. So it's probably going to cost between 10 and 15,000 bucks, which, you know, a lot of people have got these trucks now, you know, and it might be, you know, of interest to show people that rather than buy a brand new truck, because this truck, I love it. I'm never going to buy another truck. I don't need to upgrade and get a brand new 200 or a brand new 79. I don't need to do that. I love the truck. I'm always going to keep it, but it does need a bit of work. So if we throw 10 or 15 grand at it, it's not a lot of money for what the truck is worth and what it does for me. I paid it off 4 or 5 years ago, so it doesn't owe me anything. and spending a bit of money now will take me through the next 10 years and just get that next step of a really good touring package, more capable truck, and last for the next 10 years. So a lot of people might be in the same boat, and you can sort of, Kaito's got a lot of knowledge now. He spends a lot of time researching it, particularly for his own truck. He knows a lot more than I do about it, so we might walk around, I'll show you what I want, and you can have a little chat about what we can do. So
yep, righto.
So we may as well start at the back. The rear bar's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a custom one from Canada. It is a good rear bar. We don't have like the latches underneath here that you see on like a Kmart sort of thing, so it's all slam latches like you'd have on a door. It is a good rear bar, ladder on the back, single wheel carrier.
We want to open up and we'll have a look inside, because Kaito got the idea of also having a one-stop shop for a full touring package, so which is something we're going to sort of do.
So we've had this drawer set up for a long time, so it's just the car-back kitchen, single drawer, and the fridge in the back there. But we've seen a couple of people doing some nice setups with the 76 where they've integrated this gullwing window in here with some side boxes and fitted out with, say, water pumps, compressors, and that sort of thing that you want to get away from the bonnet. And as you know, in a wagon, you're limited for storage, so anything you can do to get the most out of the storage, say up in here, around these windows, you really want to be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, just show that quickly, that gull wing, because that is awesome. I love that. Opening the back door on these trucks is a big deal, even with this simple setup, but that is so handy to get stuff in and out.
So you can see here, the space that's behind this is sort of, it's above this wing here, so you can put bags down in here, but the space right against this window you can't really use. So we're going to go with a bit of a setup where we have a box in that encloses this area, so you open this up and you just access the box.
We'll do a compressor in there?
We're thinking about putting a compressor in there, maybe an inverter, a bit of an electronical station on here, so you're getting your BC-DC charger, that sort of thing, away from the bonnet, and like say maybe we'll put a lithium battery in here too, and we're putting it in the back, and that's a really good way to make storage of the wagon, because in your back seat it's pretty much just like baggage and that sort of stuff, or other passengers, and you're limited for storage in the back, so we want to be able to use this area really well.
And a lot of that space there is sort of wasted because it's hard to stack up high, but if we can get, the big thing too, having a compressor under the bonnet is such a pain, because every time you want to pump your tyres up, you've got to open your bonnet, and it's a real pain, and if we can have that at the back, and also an air tank, I'd love to get an air tank in there, so see if we can fit an air tank underneath, that'd be great.
And then you can have your hose already coiled up sitting there, so if you want to pump up tyres, you pop that window open, flick the switch, take the hose out, and then you're done,
Yeah, something I've learned from the air tank on the trailer, it's so good, it's so quick having the air tank, and your tyres just go straight up. So we'll freshen up the drawers, and I don't need the two tables, which will produce a little bit lower setup when I show that extra table.
So we've got an extra table in here and on top of the fridge, so we can get rid of one of those, cut the height down a little bit, and that'll allow for the boxes on the side to have a bit more room.
You can see how much stuff we've got stacked up in there too. It's hard to get stuff because we've got so many bags and stuff stacked on each other. So if we sort of separate that side space out, it'll help a lot for storage. And I'm not using the car back because I've got the trailer and that. I've got the table. I don't need the car back, and the car back does take a little bit of space. We'll probably lose the car back and just have a drawer there, which gives us again a bigger drawer on top or the bottom. So that'll be a lithium, water, pump, all that sort of stuff. Is a one-stop shop for the whole touring package, what you were talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like you've probably seen a lot of setups on the back of dual cabs or single cabs with the canopy. You got the big canopy, you got your upright fridge, full kitchen setup that we've done for Drifta, and there's going to be a video coming out actually soon. Me and Beach are working on a project for that, so that'll be out soon. But there's not many touring solutions out there for wagons besides you chuck drawers in the back, and then that's pretty much it. So we want to be able to do something with this, and it's really good that Front Runner have this system with the gull wing on the side. So we're going to try and integrate that with it, and I think that's going to be a really good touring solution for the wagon. Yeah,
so that'll sort the back out. Come on this side.
So on this side, we're just running these fairly old tyres. These are Mickey Thompson MTZs. They're 33s. So we're definitely going to go with new tyres. I'm not really sure what we're going to go with. I've got the 33-inch Goodyear Wranglers on mine, and I'm pretty happy with them so far. Not too bad on the road, and really good off-road. So
be nice to go to 35s, eh? Because
yeah, well, we're going to look at that because pretty much with suspension, and since we did the suspension on this, the technology in suspension's gone up a lot. A lot of companies are doing bypass shocks and external reservoirs, that sort of thing, and back when we were doing it, that was racing technology, and now that's sort of come into mainstream for touring and and a lot of companies like Fox and Old Man Emu are starting to do import stuff from the US because they're using it in racing and that sort of stuff, and it's becoming a bit more common in touring setups. So I'm pretty sure with this setup we're going to go with the BP51s, which are the brand new shocks from Old Man Emu, and they seem to be the go.
Are they remote reservoir?
Yep, remote reservoir, fully
cool.
adjustable.
And I can get 35s on them. A lot of people running 35s these days. Can I get 35s
we'll have to look at the specs on that, but I'm pretty sure. I think it's 2-inch max that they do. I think I've heard they can do 2.5, but we'll see what we can do with specs and maybe fit some 35s on here, which 35s seem to be the go on these. I mean, 33s on a Hilux looks really big. On this, 33 just looks a bit normal, you know, so 35s would be the go, I reckon, on this. Maybe a little bit of trimming up, but I reckon we can get
And
get
you know, I've got pretty heavy springs on the back because I've been towing a lot.
Yeah.
But it's really sagging on the back there now because these springs are 5-6 years old. So can we get that sag out of it?
Yeah, sure. We'll go full new leaf springs, and yeah, we'll just overhaul the whole suspension setup, and that should fix that problem for towing and that sort of stuff, and just get it set up. Now that we know, probably back then when we did this, we didn't know what sort of weight we were carrying in the back and what sort of weight we would be towing. Now we know all the info on the trailer. We can set this suspension package up to suit what weight we're going to be carrying.
The rims are still pretty good. CSA alloy rims, nothing wrong with them.
Up there, right. So bar work. This is just standard factory Toyota bar that come on the truck.
We're going to keep the bar?
I reckon go with a new bar. New ARB, what do they call it? The ARB Deluxe bar. And also they got the thicker tubing these days, which looks really, really good. So I'm not sure what tubing that is, but the new one, you can't even get your whole hand around it. It looks really good. So
new side rails? We'll
go with that, new side rails, and they will integrate into new rock sliders and steps. But yeah,
and
new bars.
Also new lights. Look at these lights. Those, you know, driving lights are terrible and the headlights are no good. So
yeah, I think we'll try and go something fancy with the fog lights because they look really good on the front. Maybe some LEDs or something in there. We'll have a look at that when we do it. New light bar. This light bar's been copping the wind for 5 or 6 years now, so I reckon new light bar. The intensities are still going strong. We did replace the plastics on them once, and yeah, best driving light out there, the intensities. Winch can stay the same. We've got the Factor 55 winch hook, that's all good. I can just go in the new bar. Aerial is all good, you know, and we've got the Selfie cell phone extension thingo. So yeah, that's pretty much.
What about the roof rack? The roof rack needs a bit of a touch up because I've got a little bit of rust up underneath there.
Yeah. I think we'll go for a new roof rack. So this roof rack setup was set up with rollers on the back for a boat, and that's just what we got at the time. I think you got a bit of a deal on it, but I think we'll go for a new roof rack setup. And I'm liking the ARB aluminium roof racks.
Yeah,
we had one of those on the 200 series, and yeah, I just think that's probably the go. So we'll get
nice the aluminium because they're a nice bar and it's a lot lighter, eh?
Yeah, and then the awning can probably just throw straight back on there.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that old rapid wing.
Yeah.
Underneath I've got the big tank, so that's fine. I've always nothing wrong with that.
Oh, and the engine, that's something we've got to talk about. So
I'm going to pop the bonnet and
have
a look in the engine and also inside.
So another thing is bodywork. So we've had the sign writing probably since we first got the truck, which is a fair while, and it still says, let's say, camping, trailing kitchens, van / 4-wheel drive draw systems, which is completely changed now. It's just shortened off to camping and 4-wheel drive. So we'll get all new sign writing, but since we're taking that off, we may as well give it a bit of a polish. I mean, the bodywork's taking a bit of a heating. It's starting to fade and that, so we'll probably get a bit of a polish on it, and then yeah, full new sign writing, maybe a detail on the inside.
Yeah. What you're going to do, so a full polish.
Yep.
When you're going to do like a bit of a detail underneath, like a bit of a rust, like a rust spray or something.
Yeah, we could do underneath like a bit of a underbody spray, just to cover it up. And
what about some sound deadening?
Yeah. Also, another popular thing that's going on with touring setups is you've probably heard of it, Dynamat, and they lay it on the inside of the doors and on inside of the floor. And it's just like this, about that thick, and it's just a soundproofing matting. So we might go for a bit of that as well. We'll see how we go throughout the build.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Under the bonnet's all pretty standard VDJ, just dual battery setup. But you can see over here we've got a DP chip installed. Now back in the day when we first got this truck set up, you know, DP chips seemed to be the big thing, and chips were all the rage. You know, you just chuck it on, don't have to worry about nothing else, and that's it. But it seems to be these days, a lot of places are doing a lot more stuff with ECU retuning. So I think what we're going to do is take the chip off, and I've already organised, we're going to go to Newcastle Tune Works and get them to do a full tune on it and a 3-inch exhaust system, because when we put this one on, it's just a massive muffler box, you know, not a lot of sound getting through it, and it's a fairly old exhaust. So we're going to go 3-inch stainless and open it up a little bit more and then get them to tune it. I think they said they can tune it to around 205, 210 horsepower, and that'll be pushing way more than what it is right now.
What do you reckon it is now?
With the chip, I'd say maybe 160. 160.
Yeah. It'd be nice to get a little bit more power. It is definitely feeling a little bit tired.
And that's horsepower. I mean, these engines are built for torque, so I'm not sure what the torque figures are, but the torque with the ECU retune would be definitely pushing more torque, which is what you really feel out of a V8.
Cool,
diesel.
so more power, sounds good.
Yeah.
And what about upgraded turbo, or do we need it? Turbo's fine?
Yeah, wait, so we'll just pause there. So we could do a turbo setup, but if we do it, we're going to have to take it to Sydney, and it's going to be like 2 weeks work. And also...
Okay. Do we need it or not?
Probably not.
Second stage.
What do you mean?
We can do it at stage 2 if we need to.
Yeah, yeah.
Do it first, and if we need to, we get... Righto. So I'll ask that again.
Yeah, righto.
What about the turbos? Do you need that upgrading, or...?
So for this... Oh, what am I going to say about it? What, you want to do a stage 2, or what do you say?
Well, you can just say, oh, well, probably won't need... Just see how the power goes.
Yeah,
with the...
yeah, righto. Yeah.
So what about the turbo? Is that alright, or do we need to upgrade that?
Yeah, so I think we'll go with the tune first and just see. I mean, you might get the tune and think, oh wow, this is such a big difference, we don't need any more. A lot of things are being done with G turbo these days, so they're doing new G turbos, new stainless piping, that sort of stuff, maybe a front mount intercooler. So there's a lot going on with that sort of stuff, but we'll get the tune first, see how it goes, and if we need a bit more, then we can look at other upgrades later on.
Yeah, we don't want to spend a fortune on it, so maybe just a tune up is all I need. If I can get a bit more power, I'll be
you're pushing more
happy,
PSI and that sort of stuff, you're sort of decreasing, not heaps, but maybe decreasing your reliability a bit. So just an ECU retune, I think, is the go for the moment. And then
that'll be fine.
And we've had a HPD catch can on there after a manifold clean, so we're all good in the intake.
Yeah, it'd be good to clean up the electrical as well, Kaito, because that's sort of been a bit of a mess. It's just been added on, and when
we do the touring solution in the back, we're going to be moving the compressor out of the bonnet, putting it in the back, so we could probably work on doing a full 12 volt overhaul then, because we'll be changing maybe a lithium in the back as well with the touring setup. So that's probably the goes to clean it all up.
Anything else under the bonnet we need to do? It's probably it, isn't it?
That's pretty much it, yeah. Just,
it's already had a clean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's had the EGR clean, put a catch can on it, so it should be ready to go for
a
tune.
What about jump in the front? You get on that side.
Yeah.
So inside,
so in the cab, first thing we'll get a bit of a detail. So just get it all nice and clean up. Like when we get back from trips, it's pretty much straight into work after that, so we don't really get time to clean it that much. I spend pretty much every night vacuuming my car. Every time there's a little bit of dust on it, I vacuum it up. But we don't get much time to keep this clean. And so it's been a workhorse for a long time, so we should start looking after it a bit. So we'll get a full detail on the inside, and we've already got an aftermarket seat in here for them long touring days, so that's all good. We might
we could get a Drifta seat cover for that?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We could probably get a Drifta seat cover done for that. For the center console, pretty much in a 70 series there is no center console, so we've made this Drifta one up, but that was a fair while ago. So we'll just do something a bit different with that.
Make it
come up a bit here, a bit further, and just redo that a little bit. We might go for a new steering wheel kit. So this steering wheel is you can probably find this on a 1980 or a 1990 model Landcruiser. So we might do a steering wheel upgrade. We want to go some gauges from Red Arc, so we'll go a boost and EGT gauge. When we get the new exhaust, we'll have a plug in there. So we'll put the node in there, be able to get your EGT reading and your boost on the front there. We've already got lockers in here.
That's working pretty well.
Yeah, and we might do some new electronics on the front here, so we'll go maybe a new GME radio, new stereo, and the speakers on these are fairly old and they're quite large and bulky, so we might go some new, smaller but more powerful speakers because they're probably 5 or 6 years old now. Yeah. Alright,
and when we do the rear, the cargo barrier can be sort of a half height cargo barrier, so we've got more room in the back. It'll definitely be good to get one of those Safari new slimline lithiums in there behind the fridge. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
And
we've got this actually, I used this today. This is awesome. We've got a reversing camera, except like you can reverse with the mirrors fine, but this is pointed straight at the tow ball. So when I backed it up, I backed this up and bring it in here on my own, And yeah, you literally just drive back in. You can see it from a fair distance, and then you just pull it back under. As soon as it's under, you just go out and check it. It's perfect every time, so that's really good. And we already got this this roof console here with the lights and that on it, so we don't need to update much there. But yeah, just a little bit of an interior overhaul, get it all cleaned up, and maybe new steering wheel, new electronics on there, new speakers, new center console, and just tidy it up a little bit in here.
Maybe the canvas seat cover on the back too?
Yeah, we could do.
That'd be good.
Seat cover on the back, and make that, maybe we could probably do something a little bit more versatile with the back seat, other than just have it as a stow and throw storage area, but we can see what we do with that. It's definitely going to be a big overhaul in the back, drawers out, full new drawer system, new touring solution in the back there. So
can I keep me Snow Peak umbrella?
that could probably go back there, yeah.
Alright, well that sounds pretty good, Kaito. So yeah, we were talking the whole way home from Victoria about this.
Yeah, mostly about the back setup, which is in a wagon. That's your most important, most important storage area. So we're definitely going to do some interesting stuff with that. You'll probably be keen to see that. So yeah, I mean, it's served us well, but needs a bit of an overhaul, get it all cleaned up. And we don't need to buy a new one, I mean, you buy a new one these days, you got bloody DPF and electronics and all this other crap you can't get rid of, And so we don't want to be mucking around for any of that. This truck's fine as it is. It's just about 200,000 K, so it's just about worn in and ready to go, So a bit of an overhaul on the outside and a few interior stuff, bit of work on the engine, and it should be good to go.
Alright mate, well you're the man to do it, so that's pretty good.
Right, we'll get it organised, eh?
Righto, and so give it a month or two and you come back and we'll go over and show us again.
I'll probably do it as stages, so maybe bar work and engine work, and we'll do a video on that, and maybe just show you going to the shop and that sort of stuff, the results after, and then and a polish at the same time. Then we'll do the interior in the front, so speakers, radio, that sort of thing, and then we'll do one full video on the back and the electrical setup. So the touring setup in the back, bit of tidying up in the bonnet, taking the compressor out, putting a new one in the back there, and so probably be 3 or 4 different videos of each stage, just showing you the process, and then we'll do one at the end where we'll probably take it out bush and yeah, reveal it, show everything we've done in detail, and yeah, show you how it looks.
Alright, so let's just put it back on here, so both together in shot.
Yeah.
Leave it like that.
Yeah.
Alright mate, yeah, well that sounds brilliant. I'm really excited about that, because there's certainly a few things that I'd like to get cleaned up. Whole new back one-stop touring solution in the back here with lithium, new suspension, definitely the compressor out the back here, easy accessible. I hate lifting that bonnet, pump the tyres up, an air tank, 35s, all that sort of stuff. And the other thing too, my truck with the 33s, it drives terribly really, it has done for years. It just wanders all over the road. And my mechanic out the other day, he goes, I don't know how you keep this on the road, mate. I'm like, well, I know, it's not easy, especially towing. It wanders all over the place with the big tyres, so there's something wrong with it. We haven't been able to really fix it, so we need a proper tune-up in the suspension. So that's something we can do, and yeah, I'm pretty keen and excited to get it all done. So very lucky Kaito knows what he's doing, and well,
we'll see about that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Right, mate, thank you.
I think it's going to be really good. We get full suspension set up. It's going to ride really nice. Going to ride really good when we're towing. New tyres, new engine's going to feel awesome. They're a big engine, big V8, but they don't put out a lot of power stock, and it's only got a chip on it at the moment. So take all that out, strip it back, go with a new ECU tune, and we'll be putting some power, get a new exhaust. I know you all want to hear it. It's going to be really, really good.
The thing is too, it's only 10 or 15 grand. We don't need to buy, a brand new truck for 80, 90, 100 grand.
Yeah, and it comes with a DPF.
I've got a mate that's buying a brand new Sahara, and he's going to spend 50, 60 grand on it. It's going to be a 200 grand package. Brett's just done his beautiful big, dream car, which is an awesome setup, but he had a Pajero before that, so Brett Hooker's gone with his awesome setup we're going to show you later on. But I mean, I've already got the base truck. I don't need to do a super tour or spend 250,000 bucks. I need to spend 10, 15 grand. I'm going to turn this into a really nice truck, and Kaito's going to do it for me, so alright mate,
right.
Very good.
See how it goes, eh?
See how it goes.
See you in a couple of months.
Nice.
Perfect. Righto.